Okay. Well,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny. I was talking with our friend Carrie about this because he's like, I love Steve Carell. I'm like, yeah, me too. But he's getting to that phase of, I want to be serious.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a comedic actor anymore. Like,
You're right.
I want to make you cry.
Right.
And so Jim Carrey did it.
Yeah.
I think Steve Martin had a couple of runs at that.
Sure.
So
Sure.
and I get it. You don't want to be like just the funny man every time. If you went to school for acting, you're like, I can do other things.
You want to prove range. You want to prove that you're not just a one-trick pony. Oh, I get it.
And this is probably couldn't be further from the opposite of like The Office.
There's not a single drop of Michael Scott in this character.
or 40-Year-Old Virgin.
No way. Not one drop.
So basically the story
It's a
is...
very depressing story.
And I believe it's a true story.
Yeah, it's based on books that the son and the dad wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's called Beautiful Boy. Stars Steve Carell and I'm going to get this right. Timothy
Chalamet.
People say Timothy.
No.
Timothy.
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet.
He was in Call Me by Your Name last year.
Yes, he was with Armie Hammer. It was very creepy.
Yep.
So, and basically the story is, we can make it almost as simple as possible, is that Timothy has an addiction.
He's got a drug addiction.
Even alcohol, like
Bad.
everything,
Yeah.
everything. And Steve Carell's his father.
Yep.
And he's concerned.
Yes, of course.
Obviously. And this is a kid who disappears. For days at a time, where his dad has to go find him.
Yep.
Put him in rehab, and then he leaves rehab, and and it's a constant cycle of just dealing with this. We could just jump right into it because that's it.
That's the story.
That's the story.
It's a story of addiction and failed recovery, and
is this
what
kid
it
gonna
does
survive?
and what it does to families.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
So jumping into, like I said, Steve Carell doesn't want to make you laugh in this one, and he does a good job.
He
but
does.
but these are the kind of films. You sit there, you watch it, and you're like, this is good, but I'm never going to watch this again.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion, because I don't like to watch people just suffering.
It's a really tough one.
Yeah.
It's a really tough one. I watched this one at home on a screener by myself.
Yeah.
And just had a really tough time, like, keeping my emotions in check. It's a hard one.
It's one of those ones too, because I watch a lot of like documentaries about drug
Sure,
addiction and stuff
sure.
like that, and you see the people like just basically the cycles they go through,
Right.
Like leave me alone, I'm fine, don't touch me,
Right.
I wouldn't say you're not my real father, but like
right.
But
Some of that.
when were you ever there for me before this?
Right.
But it all plays out in this movie.
It does.
But where you would think it might come across cliched, it feels raw.
It does. And I you know what I think that is? Because your cliche comment comes from the fact that there's nothing really new in this. It's
No.
a pretty predictable sort of unspooling of the story,
Yeah.
but I love the way it's directed.
Yeah.
Time is sort of compressed in certain areas, it's stretched in others. Nothing happens in quite the way you think it will in terms of the laying out of the story.
Because it'll jump back to like when things were good.
Exactly.
And then you come back and you're like, oh, now he's laying in the gutter.
It skips around.
in the rain.
It skips around in a way that's easy to follow. It overlaps things. They'll be talking, and then
Yeah.
you'll see the next thing just sort of already happening.
Which I
I
will
think it's
say-
really well directed.
May confuse some people.
It might.
Because my
might.
wife came with me to this
Yeah.
in the theater. We saw it, and she's like, "Wait a minute! I
Yeah.
thought he was like doing this," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"It's a flashback." She's like, "Okay."
I love an art film approach to old material.
Yeah,
and I
that's
think
true.
that's what we get here.
Well, that kind of goes back to my phrase where people
Yeah.
are always like, can any film not be remade? And I'm
Right.
like, no, if you got a fresh vision, go for it. But the second you
Absolutely.
screw up, we're coming for you.
Yeah, exactly. The standards are definitely higher. Chalamet's great. Let's not forget to mention him.
Chalamet is absolutely amazing. The kid's, that's a kid who's got a career ahead of him. Like a lot of people thought he should have won the Oscar for Call Me by Your Name.
I said it here.
Yeah, and I disagreed because I'm also like, the kid, he was like the freshman in the class. Like the kid's got years ahead of him.
He was my choice, though. I stood by that.
This is back to back.
Yeah, I know.
He may
I
get
know.
nominated for this. For,
He might.
You know,
He might.
And I would say supporting.
For Carell?
Yeah.
Certainly.
No, I was gonna say for Timothy.
Oh,
I don't know. This is a year of very supporting and lead like that. Like watch. We'll probably talk about The Favorite the next week or so.
Yeah. It's hard to know who to call the lead.
I'm calling Emma Stone.
Yeah,
But some people are saying
I say
Colman.
Olivia Colman. That's what I say.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So, but it's one of those years. Back to it. Timothy Carell, fantastic performances, great
Well
directing.
directed. Yep.
Just because it is kind of the paint by numbers storyline like that, I'm at 3.5.
I gave it 4.
Wow.
When I-
That's 2 in a week.
I know.
Or two in a row.
I know. I gave it 4 when I turned it off, and I'm going to stand by it. I think
Okay.
it's a low grade 4, but I think this is a really phenomenal film, particularly
There you
given
go.
the fact that it was old material and they told it in a new way.
Awesome.
Yep.
4 over here.
Yes.
3.5 over here.
Yes.
Definitely check out Beautiful Boy. You're not going to feel good afterwards.
You're going to cry.
There you go. Coming up next on Big Movie Mouth Off, we're going to watch some trailers. Mm-hmm. Stay tuned.